Hello and welcome to the Financial Bunny TV. My name is Nicolette Mashile and of course I am your Financial Bunny. I'm bringing you another episode that is brought to you in partnership with ACCA. And today we're talking about the ACCA journey from a young person living right here in South Africa with us, but also getting an understanding of what does the IRBA accreditation really mean for somebody that might want to potentially take the ADP program. Now today I'm joined by Dumisani Mahlangu, who's an accomplished accountant and auditor currently completing his final strategic professional paper with ACCA. A dedicated and client-focused professional, Dumisani has a solid foundation in financial reporting, auditing standards, financial and risk management, and of course, compliance. He began his career by serving articles with the Auditor General of South Africa, signing off in 2017, where he developed a deep understanding of public auditing. Now, throughout his ACCA studies, Dumisani honed his skills in business analytics, corporate governance, and advanced auditing, and discovered a passion for evaluating organizational performance to drive strategic development. Now, beyond the numbers, he's very much deeply committed to creating positive change, bringing a sense of business acumen and commercial focus to every client relationship. Dumisani, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Nicolette. I actually have never been introduced like that. Oh, wow.
Oh, is it? Well, I mean, that's all your accomplishments. So we are quite excited to be speaking to such an esteemed, member of society. And maybe let's start there. What type of impact and legacy do you want to leave in your country or globally?
In South Africa, I want to leave a legacy whereby South African business thrive. South African businesses are successful. South African businesses are led by leaders who are future focused and who are passionate about living sustainable businesses and creating wealth for everyone in the value chain.
Yeah. Talk to me about ACCA. Where do you find out about ACCA before you started the journey?
Perhaps at this point, it's relevant to mention that I graduated from the University of Stellenbosch in the Western Cape. So Stellenbosch University or Stellenbosch University's academics were future focused at that point in time. They did not only offer financial accounting, the CA option, the traditional route or the conventional route. They also offered a CIMA route and ACCA route, and I followed an ACCA program and I fell in love with it.
Yeah. So how did you choose? Because as you say, it wasn't just the traditional CIMA, traditional SICA. There was also ACCA that was part of the mix. What made you choose ACCA?
So one day I was reading Sunday Times.
Okay.
I love Sunday Times.
Here comes a story.
And then I found a name, called Global.
Okay.
Local.
Yes.
So that means a global focus with a local context.
Yes.
I was like, you know what? I live in South Africa. I'm deeply rooted in this country, but then I want to have global perspective of things, of businesses, and then I want to have global opportunities as well while I am studying in South Africa and while I am born and bred in South Africa. And then that's how ACCA resonated with me because it's an international qualification.
I like that. One of the things that we had a conversation with Portia Mkabela, who of course is the cluster head for Southern Africa. One of the things that she mentioned was how well South African universities actually prepare accountancy students. Do you feel that that's what Stellenbosch did for you?
Absolutely, yeah. And not only Stellenbosch, but then all the South African universities, and then that is also the testament of it is South African professional accountants, chartered accountants, and the like being internationally recruited.
Yes.
All over the world, So and that because we tend to develop a deep expertise of whatever field that we follow, and then we contribute a kind of great deal in wherever we find ourselves working and operating.
I like the global perspective that you've got, and I guess it speaks to your career ambitions. So tell us, how does the ACCA journey then align to some of your career goals, and perhaps maybe share what are those career goals?
When I was young, and then as a young student, I always saw myself as a strategic thinker. So I wanted to be in the C-suite. and then I wanted to follow a typical route: be an accountant, prepare financial statements, become a financial manager, become a chief financial officer, and that was my actually my ambitions. But then my ambitions have changed.
Yes.
So when I started working, I worked for Auditor General, as you have mentioned, and then I've realized that as accountants we can do a lot of things. So I started studying. I trained in external auditing, and then I went to another company. I became an internal auditor there in an academic environment, and I went to a liquor board where we were regulating alcohol. It was great there. I did internal control and compliance and risk management, and then now I'm in an aviation and aerodrome space whereby I'm doing what we call is a new field in accountancy. It's called loss control. So that actually made me realize that, I like writing as an accountant. I like speaking, and I like influencing and advocating for change within a business environment. I was like, nah, I don't want to be a chief financial officer anymore. But then maybe I can play a more meaningful role as maybe a chief assurance officer or a chief risk officer, because those are the guys within the C-suite that play an advocacy and an influencer role for good business performance and good governance.
So you followed the accountancy field when you were in Stellenbosch, right?
Yes.
And then you went the ACCA route. For somebody who might not have followed that traditional route of going and doing their postgraduate diploma in accountancy, do you think that there is a possibility of them even making it within the ACCA journey if they were to embark on it?
Absolutely. So what I like about ACCA is its flexibility.
Okay.
So, and for me, it's unfortunate that in South Africa, professional accountants can only be those guys who studied professional accountancy qualification. The former chairperson of Manchester United was a chartered accountant, but he didn't study that. His primary degree was history. So we always say at ACCA that if you've got the right attitude, the right ambition, you can actually follow the qualification and qualify as a professional accountant with ACCA. Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about the IRBA accreditation that has now been bestowed also for ACCA members to be able to register as a registered and accredited auditors. For you, is that exciting? Does it open a new exciting pathway for South Africans?
Yeah, Nicolette, when we are going to talk about auditing, something that I strongly believe in auditing.
Yeah.
And then I also believe that if you want to be in business, that's actually the route where you must start your career in. So for me, it's exciting prospects because previously only one professional body could be allowed to register as registered auditors with IRBA. So for me, it addresses a number of concerns.
Yes.
One, it plays it has a transformative imperative on it. So there's an opportunity for the profession to transform. As you know that, being an auditor is one thing.
Yes.
But then being an associate director, and ultimately an audit partner is a real deal.
Yes.
Because of the remunerations that are quite big, the profit share, and the bonuses, And when we become an audit partner, and we have an opportunity to audit a JSE listed company, that's a real impact as a professional accountant. So it's exciting time, and it also brings exciting prospects. And what I like about ACCA having that type of a route is that the former artificial barriers have been broken. Yes. Because we don't now deal with situations whereby you need a honors degree to become a registered auditor. Once you are done with your degree, and then you write your ACCA board exams or professional papers,
yes,
you've got an opportunity then to enter the space.
Yes.
Artificial barriers are broken. Opportunities for economic prosperities are present, and transformative imperatives are addressed. It's a bad statistics that out of plus minus 4,000 registered auditors that we have in this country, about 89% of those people are white, and then the majority of them, overwhelming majority at that, are white males. So, I mean, it's an opportunity. Let's enter the space. Yeah.
So I want to take transformation a little bit further into more diversity, diverse backgrounds, diverse cultures, diverse ways of looking at things.
I really believe that we do need diversity, and diversity as professional accountants, because one professional body covers or focuses on one thing, and another professional body covers another thing. The next one covers another thing. Let me give you an example very quickly. So the South African local body is very technically driven towards and biased towards a technical accounting, whereby at ACCA we do courses like strategic business leader, we do courses like strategic business reporting, advanced performance management, and those courses, what it introduces in the boardroom when we are diverse is that it introduces a different level of thinking. So now we get to know about other things such as sustainability reporting, sustainability assurance, sustainable development goals. We got to know about the importance of advertising in business, the importance of marketing. And then when we are at loggerheads, assuming that the next person is a chief financial officer and I'm a chief risk officer, and then the conversation is that today we are cutting costs and then we need to get rid of marketing, or we need to downsize the marketing department. I need to be the one who says that in my ACCA studies, I learned that marketing and advertising plays a very important role for revenue optimization. So we are keeping that.
I think it gives you a far better, broader perspective instead of just looking at the numbers and making calls based on that. And I think that makes you a holistic, and I like what you said about, for you to be a good entrepreneur, auditing is something that you should have at least your eye on, because ultimately it allows you to do that. So that's a great differentiator of the different professional bodies and what they specifically focus on that I absolutely love about ACCA. Let's talk about a time when you faced a challenge during your ACCA journey.
You guys, you will fail ACCA. Uzotshona.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's doable.
Yes.
But then because it wants somebody who has an integrated mindset and integrated thinking, it does not only teaches you how to punch Excel or the calculator. It develops that business acumen, So if you cannot write very well, you cannot articulate very well in writing, you cannot pitch your messaging to the correct audience, you won't do well. So I found myself there. By some of the papers that I did not have those skills. But then guess what? You're gonna fail this paper 3-4 times. You're gonna study hard, but then you're gonna, because you know and you reflect that, okay, maybe I don't write well. So you're gonna start the reading, and then you develop as an individual. At the end of the day, by the time you qualify as a chartered certified accountant, you are not just a professional accountant. You are a professional accountant with skills. Skills that are sellable, skills that are transferable, skills that are needed in business. Guys, business does not only need a financial reporting. There's more to business.
I like that. I like the way you put it, because I think sometimes you leave high school with people saying, you're so good at numbers, go do an accounting degree. You go do an accounting degree, and that's what you only focus on. You focus on the numbers. No academic writing, no critical analysis, no reading. You know what I mean? Yes, you're amazing at the numbers. No leadership, because you're going to manage a team at some point. And you speak about those nice skills that one needs to have to be able to be a holistic professional within the industry. I like that. And where does your resilience come from? I mean, if you're failing a paper 2 or 3 times, you start thinking, something is wrong with me. So what has been keeping you going?
So, South Africa, and as I've mentioned that I used to work in a liquor industry. From a regulatory point of view. Now I will tell you for free that we are a country that likes their alcohol.
Okay.
So when we face challenges, we resort to the bottle. Well, I did that maybe for 3 days, and then I saw that it doesn't really work.
It really doesn't help.
So I started running.
Oh. Oh.
So I'm a mountain biker as well. So 2 years ago, I participated in Comrades.
Oh, well
Comrades is very long.
Yes.
You will run and get hungry and get bored and sleep on the road and wake up and finish the race. And then by doing those endurance races, that's where the resilience comes from. Because running is painful, especially endurance training is painful. It requires consistency, it requires discipline, it requires commitment. Those three things, it's an equation, then it equals to resilience. When you fail or when you face challenges, you ask yourself, but then what is this mere 47% that I got if I have completed an 89-kilometer race? Yeah.
Now you say in the aviation space that you're in right now, you found a nice niche where you're feeling a little bit more comfortable. Can we still see Dumisani do his ADP and become a registered auditor?
So yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And it's still, even though it's niche,
Yes.
it's still in assurance.
Yes, so it still
maintenance.
requires, yes.
It's still in auditing, because what is auditing? Auditing is just a baby, but then the parent is assurance. We are providing assurance. Those more matured members of your viewers, they will know that there's this thing called combined assurance.
Yes.
These assurance providers. So I'm also part of the assurance provider. I'm also an assurance provider whereby I'm providing assurance. And then I'm still passionate about auditing. And then now I'm a senior manager where I work. And then I think that experience will actually put me in good stead. The day that I get my qualification, I want to do ADP because I understand auditing very well. For 3 years, I did internal auditing. For 5 years, I did external auditing. So I can easily jump into a firm and then say that, hey, please, for 18 months, can I provide my services, but
while
can
I
I
do this
also
program?
be a registered auditor, of which it will be a dream come true for me.
Oh, and we're looking forward to it. We wish you so much luck with that. Tell me, what financial rule or personal management rule do you live by?
Spend to what is required. 10% of the time, spoil yourself.
Okay.
But then save for the rainy day and invest and learn investment management and investment industry. It will push you far. Yeah.
What are you currently investing in?
I like choosing companies that I personally resonate with.
Yes.
So if you come to me that Nicolette Ltd is listed, but then I do not believe in their product, I do not believe in their value system, I don't even use their product, I'm not gonna invest in that firm. Because the companies that you need to invest in is the companies that you understand very well, that you use their products, and then when you are being woken up in the morning and then you are being asked that Dumisani Limited's product, how do they make their money? You can link their products to how they generate the revenue.
Don't worry, at Nicolette Ltd, you are going to find that we are using all of our money for managing and teaching people personal finances. So that's impact, right?
I would invest in
You
a
would
company
invest
like
into
that.
it, definitely. Before I let you go, Dumisani, you've been absolutely fantastic and so inspirational. Just listening to you, I get excited about the prospects of the future of South Africa within, I think, both the accountancy and in the auditing spaces. A lot of young people are speaking ESG. It's a buzzword these days. In your experiences, I don't know if you've had the experience to audit a firm that has claims towards ESG investment.
Yeah.
What do you look out for so that you don't get duped by greenwashing and all of these things that companies sometimes try to do?
So Nicolette, to answer your question, let's go back to the basic. Before ESG was ESG, ESG was triple P. People, planet, and profit.
Yes.
So now ESG is environmental, social, and governance.
Yes.
The environment, it's linked back to the planet.
Yes.
How does our companies interact with the planet and the environment and the carbon that it emits? And then how do they invest and rehabilitate the planet? That's one thing that you need to look at. And then there's this social element as well. Social element, it can be linked to people again. But then how do we relate with the people or with our stakeholders? Our stakeholders within the companies that we work for is not necessarily only employees.
Yes.
It's our community, it's community members, it's our shareholders, you know, it's our suppliers.
Yes.
How do we treat our suppliers? I work in government, and then we deal with SMMEs. I make it a point in my role
That they get paid on time.
that supplier will be paid within 30 days.
I love that.
as legislated.
Yes.
But then in my previous company, where I worked, I moved it from 30 days
I love that.
to 14 days.
Because
If
you
it was-
understand
Yes.
SMEs.
And then the G cannot be linked to the profit,
Yes.
but then it contributes.
Absolutely.
But then why was it introduced when it did not feature in the triple P?
Yes.
Because governance is like a soul of a company.
Yes.
If the governance, the ethics and the integrity of management is dead, that company will not be sustainable and it will die. So that's what I look at.
Absolutely aspirational to have young people in the country who speak just like Dumisani Mahlangu. I'm excited for the future, as I said. I think it's going to be quite an interesting time that we are headed to, where we have the likes of you, registered auditors in the country, qualified. And please invite us to your graduation. We would definitely love to come. In fact, we will come with the cameras, everything, you know, to capture the moment for you. But thank you very much for joining us today. I think you've painted such an amazing picture for anybody that is considering taking on the ACCA journey, but also the excitement in which you speak about where you are currently, because you're not yet qualified. You're literally half a centimeter away from qualification, but you speak like somebody that holds such great ethics and accountability for the country. And we appreciate that.
Thank you very much. It's been absolute fun.
I love that. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember, as we always say on this channel, anything that is said does not constitute as financial advice. However, if you are looking for financial advice, please do speak to somebody that is certified and registered with the FSCA. And with that, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.